Okay, we're continuing to work for the review for Chapter 6, Section 6.1, 2, and 3, and Section 6.5. Problem 10 in view here, and what they want us to do is find the relative maximum, relative minimum, and the zeros of the function that's shown here. So that basically translates into find out how high the hilltops are, how low the valleys are, and find where it crosses the x-axis. So let me pull my calculator up here and you'll see me typing this function here. Actually, I've got it typed in already, so it should be ready to go. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go to your y equals key and type in the function. I'll scroll slowly just in case you're trying to copy this. Negative 0.18 x cubed plus 0.75 x squared plus 1.6 x, and it continues off screen here. It'll be minus 2.1. Okay, now hit zoom 6 here and you'll see the graph. So we want to find out where does this, where's that valley, how low is that valley? That'll be a relative minimum. And then the height of the hilltop is called the relative maximum. And then there's three places where it crosses the x-axis. Those are called zeros. Now, just in case you run into a problem with the graph going off screen, I'm going to change the graph temporarily, and I'll come back here. So I'm going to make this thing a little higher here. I'm going to change the y-intercept. So if I go to the y equals key and scroll over all the way over to the right, instead of minus 2.1, I'm going to say plus 8.1. So I just changed that number. And I'll hit zoom 6 again. And you'll see that now one of the hilltop has been chopped off. It's up above the top of the graph. So what you need to do in a case like that is you hit the window key and you come down to the number that controls the top of the screen, and you'll increase it from 10 to 20 or whatever you choose. Touch graph and you'll see, now you can see both the valley and the hilltop. And in this case, it's only hitting the y-axis, the x-axis once, so there'd only be 1 0. If you need to increase the bottom of the screen or make it go lower, then you just simply hit window and change that number to say negative 20, and you'll see now it shows further down. Okay, so let me go back to where I was. I'm going to go to my y equals key and fix that number I was playing with. So let me go over there. I think it was minus 2.1 instead of this one. And I still didn't fix it. Let me try again here. Okay, that's what it should be. I'll hit zoom 6 to get back where I was. And let's find all three of these. First of all, the minimum, which is the height of that valley. You go second, calculate. It's on the trace key. And you want to go to the third one down where it says minimum. And then you scroll, when it says left bound, you scroll to the left side of the valley, somewhere over on that side. Hit enter. It'll switch to wanting to be on the right side of the valley. And depending on the calculator you have, or may not have those vertical lines. But once you're on the right side of the valley, hit enter and hit enter once more, and it'll take you to that lowest point. Now the height of this is the y value. So you're going to see me on the page when I fill this in, type y equals negative 2.81 when x is negative 0.82. But the answer is the y value. So now I'm going to do a similar set of steps to find the hilltop. You go second, and then calc, and you want to use the maximum this time, number 4. And once again, left bound, you're going to go to the left-hand side of the hill. That looks like a good place to be, on the left-hand side of the hill. Then you go over the top of the hill to the right side. And once you're on the right side, hit enter twice. And it should pop to the highest point on that section of the graph. And you would have an answer here of 4.98 for the y value, when x equals 3.60. So we'll write that one down later. The maximum heights and minimum heights are heights, and heights are y values. Okay, the last thing we'll do, we've done this before many times, is find the zeros or the x-intercepts. You go second, calc, choice 2 this time. And I'm going to find the one that's furthest to the left. So I'm going to scroll all the way over there until I go past it going to the left. I'll tell you when I'm basically on top of it. Okay, right about there is on top of the answer. Go a little bit to the left, hit enter, and then go back and now go to the right side. Hit enter twice when you get over on the other side. And it should pop right to that 0. This time you're looking for the x values, negative 2.22. You find the next one the same way, although I'm going to take a shortcut this time. Second, calc, choice 2. The calc is above the trace key. And instead of scrolling like I did last time, I'm just going to type a number. Well, let me put my cursor on top so you know where I'm looking. I want a number that's to the left of that blinking thing, so I'm going to use 0. Hit enter. And one that's to the right of it, so from here it's basically on top of the 1. I could go maybe use 3. Yeah, let's use 3, enter, and then hit enter once more, and it should tell you the next answer is 0.97. So the last answer looks like it's between 5 and 6. I'm going to play it safe and go 4 and 7. So second, calc, choice 2, and I'm going to use 4 for a left bound and 7 for a right bound. So 4 enter, 7 enter, and then hit enter once more. And it tells you the last answer is 5.41. So I'll just put all those answers on screen here in a second. We found that the minimum value in the valley was at a height of negative 2.81. The y value at the hilltop was 4.98. And the 3x values on the x-axis are negative 2.22, 0.97, and 5.41. Okay, find the zeros of these functions, and this is pretty easy. You're just going to take and pretend that you're setting the y value equal to 0. So put a big 0 there, and then that allows you to split this up into 3x equals 0, 4x plus 3 is equal to 0, or the x minus 5 equals 0. And the answers here, when you solve, here you divide by 3 on both sides, so you get your first answer of 0. Here you take the 3 over and divide by 4. And the last one, you take the 5 over and you get x equals 5. So we get 0, negative 3/4, and 5. All right, this one here, when you set the y equal to 0, you can set this equal to 0, but that's nonsense. So you're going to see 8 equals 0. I don't think so. Doesn't lead to an answer. Here, x minus 3 equals 0 leads to the answer of x equals 3. And the other one, we're going to take a shortcut. We're going to leave the middle line out and just go to the final answer. You change that sign, divide by that number. So negative 5/9. Now, if that really bothers you, you can set it like this: 9x plus 5 equals 0. And take the 5 over and divide by 9, and you'll get the same answer. Okay, so that does it for problems 10, 11, and 12 in the note set.